money to go towards these improvements, which we had already identified were needed?
My experience with MSBA is that it usually takes anywhere from 6 to 10 years to get approval for your projects, unless your school's falling apart, or unless you're in a huge need of a big building, like you're regionalizing, you're creating a new high school where there were none. It takes a long time. So this idea that in 1 year they open up the ability to get some reimbursement and to actually get the money out the same year is highly unusual. So it is kind of nice to see them say, hey, if you're ready to go, we're willing to help, and here's a window of opportunity for you. The other opportunity that we have is that we're in an environment where going out to bond or get some debt for the schools is relatively inexpensive compared to previous times, and probably will come in the future. So overall, we're in good shape. If we can show the state that the town is willing to participate and get behind these projects, I don't see them rejecting it. The only project they did not approve because they felt it was too small was the elementary school, which just needs some repairs to the roof that's there. They're looking for the more broad bang for the money, like replace the whole roof because you need a whole new roof, or replace like all the windows at the middle school, which would be big projects in their eyes. However, when they came through and looked at the schools, one of the things they commented on is, wow, you do a great job of maintaining your buildings. We know that if we fund these projects, these schools will remain in operation for as long as you want them to remain in operation, because you've kept them in such good shape. So it was good to hear that. And again, we had already identified these are not coming out of the blue just because there's money available. We knew that these things needed to be done. Now we just have the opportunity to actually get the state to help us with it.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to the action agenda, and continuing along that theme. We will be taking action on authorizing you to
seek a warrant article
for the bill warrant.
I would leave the number out. There's two ways to do this. You can do one individually for the schools, or you can do one as a town, debt exclusion. That's more the guidance that I'm looking for tonight. You can have more than one exclusion article, and eventually it'd have to go to the ballot anyway. But since we're going to meet with the town capital improvement plan next week, and also with the budget subcommittee that will be talking about what's going to happen at the special town meeting, I'd like some guidance when we go into those meetings as to what we're going to ask to be put onto the warrant article. So whether you want to go in with the town or you want to do it individually as the school, it'd be nice to know now, but I would leave the number aside until we have the meeting with the capital.
Would going in with the town, presumably for some town projects attached to the bonding, would that affect the reimbursement?
No, because they would only reimburse us on the part that they approve. So if they're only approving the roof here, the window, some of the windows here, the windows at the middle school, and the roof at the MAC, we could have other projects. The town could have other projects, but they would only reimburse on those projects that they have under the green projects. The other ones, basically the town's on their own. There are some capital needs that have been identified by other departments in the town, and it'll be basically up to them to put together their rationale for why they're needed and how much they need and what it's going to go to.
Mr. Sullivan?
A similar question to what the chairman asked. If we had one capital improvement warrant article town school projects, all combined, and it was not approved at special town meeting, it would affect the application to the green projects.
It may put us out of the Tier 1, which is the first round of reimbursement. So basically what would happen is all the people who can move their project forward would get funded first. If there's any leftover monies after that, and we go back to the town in the spring and ask for, funding for these projects, then if they have any money left, then we would participate in what they can reimburse out of the leftover monies from Tier 1. So the cleaner we make it, the more chances I think we may have of securing the reimbursement from the state.
And it seems like we're ready to go with our projects. We know what we need. We've had it looked at. We've had it evaluated. We've been thinking about it for over a year. I think it seems pretty clear that we need to move ahead with the schools. So,
Just to continue that discussion, where we have other capital needs beyond this particular project, would our warrant article include just the green projects? If we were to have a separate schools warrant article, would we go forward with just the green projects? Or would we have, this is our capital needs, this is our 10-year plan, some of which is the green projects, some go beyond that under a separate authority for bonding? Have we thought of that?
I have, and it's more of a political question, and kind of this is where I look for some feedback from the school committee, which is the elected body, and hopefully you have your feelers out there into the community. Like I said, last year we had identified about $4.5 million worth of capital improvements that we could make to the schools. Some of them I think people would find more palatable than others. Obviously, if there's reimbursement for the state for the 2.5, I think they would be very happy to see those. That's my personal opinion. So we could have a warrant article that just talks about the roofs and the windows, and you could have another warrant article for additional capital projects out of the 10-year expanded list. There's certain things like the parking lots in the schools, which are in horrible shape. You put it out for